So, good day everyone. I am Decadet Paranleo Mark M. So, we are from Group 3, and our topic is all about to explain the effects of wind current, squat, shallow water on ships handling while maintaining safety of navigation. So, but before we start, um, let me first introduce to you my co-members. We have here Decadet Lumusad, Decadet Marata, Decadet Medina, Decadet Molina, Decadet Pabalinas, Decadet Panilag, Decadet Paran, Decadet Ribaya, Decadet Resaba, and Decadet Sabando.
So effect of wind on ship handling. Vessel head to wind and with headway. Vessel making headway through the water and heading directly into the wind. W is now well forward of amidships and in fact very close to P. The wind is exerting no turning moment or sideways force on the vessel. A comparatively small change in relative wind direction, either by alteration of course or wind fluctuation, will place the wind on the vessel bow. The hull of one side of the vessel will now be exposed to the wind and W will move aft. The following effects will now be experienced. The turning force will now develop a turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel into the wind again. And the wind force will also develop a sideways force on the vessel away from the exposed side. And head to the wind, therefore, the vessel is course stable, provided that she maintains headway through the water. If the ship has a large trim by the stern, W will be further forward with a reduction or even loss of course stability. This can sometimes result in a rapid and violent loss of control.
Vessel head to wind with sternway. Vessel remains head to wind, but now starts to make sternway through the water. W remains forward, whilst P has moved off. The wind has exerting no turning moment or sideways force. The following effects will now be experienced. A. The wind force will develop a strong turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel's bow further away from the wind. B. The wind force will develop a sideways force on the vessel away from the exposed side. Head to wind as soon as the vessel starts to make sternway through the water. She loses course, stability, and the bow will pay off away from the wind, sometimes quite rapidly. If the ship has a large trim by stern, W may move further forward, perhaps quickly, and the loss of course's stability is even more pronounced. This can sometimes result in a rapid and violent loss of control.
Good day, everyone. I am Cadet Marata Christian Ray. I'm here to report about the vessel stern to wind with headway. Vessel making headway through the water and with the wind direct astern, P is forward a long distance from W, which is well aft and comparatively small change in relative wind direction will move W forward. However, W is still some distance above P. The following effects will now experience. A. The following force will develop strong turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel stern farther away from the wind. B. The wind force will develop a sideways force on the vessel, away from the exposed side. Making headway with the stern to wind, the vessel loses course stability and difficult to steer. This effect is greater when there is also a following sea or swell. If the ship has large trim by the stern, W may move further forward, and loss of course stability may be generally less pronounced but still potential. Vessel stern to wind making stairway. Vessel making stairway through the water, and wind directly astern. P has moved aft fairly close to W, which remains there farther aft. A change in relative wind direction will eventually move W forward to P. Following effects will experience. A. The following wind force will develop a turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel stern back into the wind. B. The vessel force will develop sideways force and the vessel away from the exposed side, making stairway through the water with stern to wind and vessel is again. If the ship has large stream by the stern, W may move farther forward, generally improving the course stability. However, with such a stream, there is always the possibility of unpredictable loss of control.
So good day, I am Molina Mariel and my topic is effect of current on ship handling. Current and its effect a feature on any river bird is the current. It is common for a river bird to lie in the same direction as the prevailing current so that the current can assist with berthing. In this case, a bird can be approached bow into the current in order to give the advantage of relatively high speed through the water or reduced speed over the ground. Consequently, steerage at low ground speed is improved by the good water flow over the rudder. The ship will be easier to stop. Another advantage of berthing into a current is that it can be used to push a ship alongside. Position the ship of the intended berth but a slight angle towards it. Then allow the current to produce sideways movement of the ship towards the berth. Master should note that current are usually complex with varying rates and directions that can change hourly. For safe navigation, local knowledge is essential. A ship making headway into current but stop over the ground will have a forward pivot point.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, cadets. I'm Cadet Jake Pabalinas, and I am the one who is going to discuss about berthing in a current. Berthing with the following current is difficult, since the ship must develop sternway through the water in order to be stopped over the ground. In these circumstances, control of a single cruise ship will not be easy. Use a tug to hold the stern against the current. Care is needed when berthing into a current, because too large an angle between the berth and the direction of the current will cause the ship to move rapidly sideways. Unless corrected, contact with the berth may be avoidable. If during berthing, the bow's angle to the berth is overcorrected, then the ship could move away from the berth as the wedge of the water between ship and the berth becomes established. This may cause the ship's stem to strike the berth.
Good day, sir. My topic is all about effects of squat on ship handling. The squat-off effect is the hydrodynamic phenomenon by which a vessel moving quickly through shallow water creates an area of lowered pressure that causes the ship to be closer to the seabed than would otherwise be expected. This phenomenon is caused when water that should normally flow under the hull encounters resistance due to the close proximity of the hull of the seabed. Leonardo's law causes the water to move faster in water level, where section is smaller. According to the Bernoulli's principle, the increasing velocity causes low pressure such that the ship pulled down. Squat effect from a combination of vertical sinkage and a chain stream may cause the vessel to dip towards stern or towards the bow.
So, good day everyone. I am the Cadet Paranleo Mark M. So, we are from Group 3 and I was assigned to discuss the squat effect. So, squat effect is approximately proportional to the square of the speed of the ship. So, thus by reducing speed by half, the squat effect is reduced by a factor of 4. So, squat effect is usually felt more when the depth of draft ratio is less than 4 or when sailing close to bank. It can lead to unexpected grounding and handling difficulties. So, shallow water effect on maneuvering includes the first is the bow wave increases, second is the maneuvering becomes sluggish, third is the engine load increases, the fourth is the ship speed over water reduces, and the fifth is stopping distance and time increases. The sixth is the turning circle increase to a great extent. Seventh is rolling and pitching reduces, and lastly, the ship may start to vibrate. So, bow cushion and bank suction effect. So, first, it is occurs in a narrow channels near proximities of banks. There is a tendency for the bow of a ship to be pushed away from the bank called bow cushion. So, the ship moves bodily towards the bank, which appears at the stern, called bank suction. So, caused by the restricted flow of water and the bank side, the velocity of the water to the bank increases and pressure reduces. So, it may result in the drop of water levels towards the bank. As a result, a thrust is set up towards the bank. So, a vessel approaching the bank will have to apply helm to the bank and reduce speed to prevent to shear from developing. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, sir. I'm the Cadet John Paul, and this my report. Points to remember. In many places, a countercurrent flows in opposition to the main current close to the bank. Only local knowledge will provide this information. Current can vary with depth of water and large depth draft. Ships can experience different current effects at differing parts of the hull. Caution is needed. When close to the berth in a head current, there is a danger that flow inshore of the ship becomes restricted and ship subject to interactive forces. These forces can cause the ship to either be sucked towards or pushed away from the berth. Local knowledge will help anticipate this phenomenon. As speed is reduced, take care that the increased proportion of the ship vector which is attributable to current does not set the ship close to obstructions. Always make a generous allowance for current. Its effect on the ship increases as the ship speed reduces. A mistake made during berthing is often impossible to current. Remember that current predictions are just predictions and meteorological condition may result in a greater or lesser rate than forecast. Local VTS information will normally advise of any significant anomalies.
Shallow water effects on a ship, WRT, draft, and maneuverability. As the hull moves through the shallow water, the area which it displaces is not so easily replaced by surrounding water, therefore leading to a state of partial vacuum as the propeller and rudder are still working. The vessel takes up longer to answer the helm, and response to the engine movement becomes sluggish. In these circumstances, vibration will be set up. It will be extremely difficult to correct IO or shear with any degree of rapidity. At normal speed, it is found that steering becomes erratic when the depth of water is equal to or less than 1.5 times the deepest thrust. A vessel drowning 8-meter maximum draught and develop unsteady steering in a water depth 12-meter or under.
Hi, my name is Cadet Subando Wedger. I'm gonna report to you about our topic. So first, when a ship nearing extremely shallow depth of water, such as a shoal, she is likely to take a sudden shear, first toward and then violently away. This is called smelling the ground. and the movements of a sluggish ship may suddenly become astonishingly lively. Due to the fact that the water displaced by a hull moving through shallow water is not easily replaced, the bow and stern wave of the vessel increases in height. Further, the throw, which normally exists under the quarter, becomes deeper, and after part of the ship is drawn downwards towards the bottom. By reducing speed, the wave heights and throw depth will be diminished, and the vessel will not, therefore, close the bottom or squat. Third, the speed of the vessel moving in shallow water should always be moderate. If the speed is increased, the keel will close with the ground and the ship will shear about unpredictability. If the bow wave and stern wave are observed to be higher, then its prudent speed should be reduced but not suddenly. If the speed is taken off rapidly, the stern wave will not overtake the vessel and cause her to take a shear, which in a narrow channel could be disastrous. Thank you.